Matthew Estes pleaded guilty. The case dates back to 2017 when Knoxville Police's Internet Crimes Against Children was contacted by Canadian police about a video of Estes' 16-month-old victim. The video was posted on the dark web.
Before we start, I do just want to say that this video will be discussing highly sensitive and triggering topics. A full list of trigger warnings can be found in the description, but please keep that in mind before continuing. I'll leave some resources as well if you have been affected by anything we've spoken about today. I also want to give a huge thank you to our channel members. Your support means that I can continue to keep making these videos and spread awareness, and your support is so much appreciated. Thank you again. 6 months ago, a post on r/banfemale-hate-subs was made by user internationalbed63, the contents of which were highly disturbing to say the very least. So I was casually scrolling through Twitter, going through my online friends following list, and uncovered that they're into race play. It shook me at first, but then I became curious and did a little digging into these accounts, and what I found was somehow even more disturbing than the racist pornography. There's an endless number of accounts that possesses codified emojis to dog whistle each other, some sort of cryptic illegal material. I mainly saw pizza emoji and rugby ball emojis, which naturally had me questioning their meanings. What I also noticed was the fact that these accounts contained the number 94. These videos contain men to a video, so I pressed on one of them as the video was played on Twitter before tapping them or on mute. What I just heard was one of the most twisted and things imaginable. I thought these men were masturbating to a normal porn video, but it was something more than that. A child being quite literally by a boy, an infant. These men were reacting to literal and a 2-year-old at that. I'm typing this shaking right now because I genuinely give up and don't know what to do. What's scary is the fact that these accounts were possessed by people you'd assume are normal. Literally all of the men were young, and now you're telling me I just unearthed one of the most rabbit hole. I tried reporting these accounts, but there's too many of them and there's too many guys to bring forward to the police. Some of these accounts are also trading through Telegram. Y'all please help bring this information to light. These accounts usually contain terms such as or perv or verp, which is an anagram of perv, and their handles or biographies. They also usually call themselves pervs or something along the lines of that. This thing is spiraling out of control and is slowly growing people into pedophilic material through fiction. The videos in question were made by a guy who is currently in prison for this sick shit. If you see a profile picture with an AI image of a red-haired boy holding a football or pizza, please report them. The term 94 describes the jersey the culprit wore when he was a footballer. The cheese pizza emoji signifies and the football emoji symbolises his profession. These people have multiple groups on Telegram dedicated to these sick videos, and there's so many of them I genuinely don't know what to do anymore. My friend tried to get a wiki page up, but it was rejected and no one says anything about this. And the man in question is Matthew Estes. Matthew Estes is an American convicted offender and currently incarcerated at the Northeast Correctional Complex in Tennessee, and he was found guilty of creating and distributing of his 16-month-old sibling. And this wasn't just one video, but he made multiple, and the material is categorised as hardcore, which is a form of which is characterised by extreme forms of abuse and violence, and these videos have been widely shared across multiple platforms. Following the spread of such material, Estes became some sort of god, as some would call, and a symbolic figure within the community. On platforms like Twitter or even Grindr, they commonly used codes that were described in the Reddit posts, such as a rugby ball emoji, the number 94, and Estes perv or no limits. And these can appear in bios, hashtags, profile pictures, banners, comment threads, and because of the nature of them, they're not drawing any attention to moderators. And numerous edited pictures have been made of Matthew, including him wearing a crown positioned in front of satanic or occult symbols, and they're used as a dog whistle to other pedophiles. And Google Trend data has showed that Matt Estes and Matthew Estes have been searched with notable frequency in countries such as the United States, Canada and Brazil. And these regions have also been identified in international reports as locations with significant levels of hosting and accessing. The large pattern of these search interests indicate the widespread scale of these communities despite a complete lack of media coverage over this case. The case itself remains largely unknown to the public, and the only verifiable information we do have are the court documents. And unlike other pretty high profile cases, this one hasn't drawn any national attention at all, despite the scope and the scale of the abuse these communities. And as I said, these court records do exist, but I do not recommend that you go and read them. They have graphic descriptions of what partook in these videos, and I'm not going to repeat that here. One, because I don't want to re-traumatize this victim by stating what happened to them. It's not, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say what was in these videos. It is about as bad as you can imagine. On October 13th, 2017, in the Eastern District of Tennessee, the Knoxville Police Department Internet Crimes Against Children was contacted by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police about a video of Estes abusing his 16-month-old sibling. The video was created using Estes' iPad, and it was first posted on the dark web on a Tor website known as Hurt Me. The video was located on a discussion board with a very disturbing title, which again, I'm not going to repeat here. But the first video is 5 minutes long. On May 15th, 2017, the department received a video from the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office. The video had been located during a forensic examination of a suspect charged with possessing CM, and the video contained EXIF data. And the data showed the video had been created on February 10th, 2016 at the exact coordinates of the Estes home in Knoxville, Tennessee. And this video is 1 minute and 19 seconds long. And again, I'm not going to discuss what was in it, but it was... I mean, I don't need to say, right? I don't need to say that Matt Estes was sentenced on February 24th, 2017 following a guilty plea to 2 counts of His sentence was made retroactively effective as of August 13th, 2016, the date he was first taken into custody. He's currently serving a 30-year federal prison sentence, scheduled to end on February 24th, 2047. Along with supervised release, a minimum of 5 years to life, potential fines, restitution, and mandatory special assessments. He also agrees to pay restitution to the victim, comply with financial disclosure obligations, and pay any court-imposed fines or assessments. I don't even know how much I can show here, and I'm going to try and blur as much as I can so that these accounts cannot be found. But I am not joking when I say there were hundreds upon hundreds of these accounts on Twitter, on TikTok, all using these emojis out in the open. A lot of them were private, but there were a handful that were public, and they were discussing and saying the most vile things. Most of them having a Telegram link in their bio, looking to trade and sell this material. I'm filming this video at 9 in the morning, and I've been up since 5:30 researching for this, and I had to step away for a bit. I try not to get too emotional with these videos, but I've mentioned it in a previous one, and I'm going to repeat it here. But for those who don't know, I'm an editor. That's my hobby, I guess. And the most popular way to get editing clips of TV shows was through like Instagram scene pack accounts and Twitter accounts. And a lot of them shared it through Mega, which I'm sure a lot of you know what Mega is associated with now. Back then, it wasn't. This is like my teen years I'm talking about. Back then it wasn't associated with what it is today. I was looking for scene packs and links to Mega files. Whilst I was looking on Twitter through these scene pack accounts, I came across the hashtag megalinks, which has now been scrubbed from the platform. Like I said, this was many years ago. I went through the hashtag, and I don't want to say exactly what it was that I saw, but what I did see had led me to believe that my scene was amongst the hundreds and thousands that were under this hashtag being sold and traded. And it led to me trying to myself, hospital and all that, but it was genuinely the lowest point of my life, which is saying quite a lot, and it was one of the most traumatic experiences that I experienced out with what I went through as a child. That's one of the main reasons why I'm making this video, and why I think that it is so important that we speak out about these things, because not speaking about it is what lets it to continue to happen. Not speaking about it is what led to me seeing that, because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was there, and so many other people also did not know what this was. Like I said, I'm trying not to get emotional because I want this to be, I don't know, I always feel weird when I'm getting very emotional about something, but it's also very much needed. I'm a social science student, and something that is drilled into us is researcher bias and trying to, well, not have bias in your research. But when it comes to cases like this, it is very difficult to go into this unbiased, to see the hundreds of accounts that exist. Like I said, I am going to blur as much as I can, just so I can show you the amount that is out there, and it's not being spoken about. There are YouTube videos of this guy playing football, and there are comments under it calling him a god. Like I said, speaking out is so important. It's like that Reddit poster. They didn't know what they were stumbling across. They didn't know what these meant, and they had to bear witness to that. And from that, there have been countless attempts to try and report these accounts with very little coming from it. Because of the nature of what they are, you don't know what it is unless you know what it is. You're not going to look at an account that has 94 in a football and think, oh, that's clearly a predator. You're not going to think that, and that's why they get away with it. I mean, when we have cults like 764 that are just running rampant online, and people are trying so hard to speak about it, people are trying their best to spread awareness about it. I made a video about it a couple of weeks ago, I believe. It's still happening. It's still there, and so many people don't know about it. So many people are afraid to talk about it because it's taboo. And I'm sorry, it should never be a taboo. You shouldn't feel comfortable listening to this video. You shouldn't feel comfortable when hearing this. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to talk about uncomfortable topics. Not talking about it and treating it as such a taboo is how victims are re-traumatized over and over again. And it's the same when I saw what I did. I think there's this big thing that I know a lot of victims talk about it, where every time someone views that material, that victim gets re-traumatized over and over again. And knowing that part of me cannot truly ever overcome what I went through, because I know that it's out there. I know what happened to me happened for the purpose of creating this material, and I can't really do much about that. And so many other victims can't really do much about it, and especially with Telegram. I mean, Telegram is one of the worst companies to try and work with. They do not work with police. They do not work with investigation services. They claim that they do their own internal little takedowns, but clearly it's not enough. There was a study done that I'm going to put up some screenshots of. I'll also link it if you want to go through it. But we have actual studies being done, research being done on Telegram, and they're coming to the same conclusion that Telegram is a wide host for this material. And they're not doing anything about it. Police are trying, and I know police are not the best to work with, trust me, I know. But what do you do when a company is just refusing to work with you under freedom of speech and privacy laws? I'm sorry, that is not equivalent to the abuse that is happening. You cannot use that as an excuse to not do it. There's also a misconception that this type of content only takes place in the dark web and on Tor, which a lot of it does. That's a fact. A lot of it does happen on these websites. I mean, we have the Peter Scully case. I mean, No Limits, that's where that comes from, right? It was a dark web website for hosting this material, but it is running rampant on the surface web a lot more than I think people realize. It is there. It's just there. It's in group chats. It's in TikTok. It's on Google. There's Discord servers. There's Discord servers for it. There's Telegram servers for it. But people are so afraid to talk about it. But I hope something can come from this video. There were so many accounts that it's hard to report every single one of them. Twitter, I mean, with the recent posted on Twitter, I don't know if people heard about that. Like a week or so ago, there was a fucking rampant bot problem on Twitter where links and pictures were just being posted under normal tweets, like just completely normal tweets. Bots were posting it. We know who owns that website, so I don't have much hope on much being done. That is why I'm making this video, and that is why my channel exists, because I hope more people knowing about it. I hope more widespread attention on this, widespread attention on these people in these disgusting communities can actually do something. But that's us for today. Like I said, there is very little information on this. It's one of those, literally they had it in their bios, if you know, you know. So now you know. And I'm hoping something can come from this. If even one account can get removed. What I will say is, please don't go searching for this yourself. Anything you do come across, report it. I will leave links in the description where you can report these accounts or anything too. But if you do see anything, please just report it and be on the lookout for those emojis and those dog whistles, because they're not widely known. I did see a couple of posts on Twitter trying to spread awareness on these dog whistles, but there wasn't a whole lot. Let me know if you know anything else. Like I said, it was so hard trying to find information on this. There was very little out there. So if you know anything, please do let me know. Please take care. I hope you're okay. I'm sorry this one was more emotional than I had intended for it to be. It's very hard to keep my cool, especially when it's things like this. I'm going to have a very long draw of a cigarette now and make some tea and try and calm my nervous system down. Please do the same, maybe not the exact same as me. I'm not trying to promote cigarette usage. Have some tea, have a meal, read a book, take care of yourself. This is hard. It's hard to listen to, it's hard to research. The thing that keeps me going is the knowledge that I know what I went through was hard. I know what these victims are going through are hard. So if the most we can do is listen to it, then that's what we do. Hope you're all okay. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world. It's so appreciated. Please take care, and I will see you all next week.